Hey, and welcome back to the Fully Booked Photographer podcast. And I'm Ronan Rowell. I'm joined by the amazing team, Bradley Bulmer, Janine McLeod, and Jonathan Ryle. Say hello, guys.
Ronan, you said my name wrong.
What did I call you?
McLeod.
What is it?
McLeod.
McLeod. But there's an L in it. It's M-C-L.
It's an L in Cloud as well.
There's an L in Cloud.
Yeah, look,
Yeah, but you go-
Connor McLeod, Clan McLeod, the Highlander, you know.
You go
McLeod.
M, though, small c, don't you?
M-C, little c, big L-E-O-D, McLeod.
Yeah, so you have to put the emphasis on the L, no?
McLeod.
You said
Yeah,
McLeod.
I'm with Ronan that I think the actual pronunciation is
McLeod.
Yeah,
It's not in the Highlander. Go watch the movie.
But it wasn't spelled that way. It's just when
Yeah, it was.
when
Now it's
you're
spelled the same way. L-E-O-D, McLeod.
with a small c and a capital L.
Yep.
Did Americans make the movie?
I don't know. Sean Connery was
Yeah,
in
they
it.
probably did. They
Yeah.
probably did. That's the reason.
Doesn't matter. It's how you say my name. Don't say it wrong.
All right. Janine
The best
McLeod.
introduction ever.
If
It
you
wouldn't be
ever,
Cloud9 Studios. Otherwise, it'd be Cleod Studios.
No, well, anyway, we're digressing too much.
We're digressing,
Ronan,
we're digressing.
bring us back on track.
bring us back on track. The wrong man to
Start
ask.
again,
bring
in
back
other
on track.
words. We're just saying
No,
our
no,
first name.
no. We're
This
no, we'll
entrance
keep
is
going.
perfect.
This is
Yeah,
cool.
no,
This
it's
is
fine.
cool.
Oh, no, we are not using this.
Oh, we are. Yes,
Of course
yeah.
we are.
So here we
Yeah,
go.
it's fun.
So there's a famous quote by John Wanamaker. Does anyone know the famous quote by John Wanamaker? Because if you're like us, we didn't know it. We knew the quote, but didn't know who said it. Which is that I market. I spend money on marketing. The problem is I don't know which 50% works and which 50% doesn't. He said it slightly differently, but I'm paraphrasing. So Brad, we see this often in the photography industry. We see photographers being afraid to market, right? Or just not marketing their business. Like, why do you think that's the case?
So first off, Ronan, that quote by John Wanamaker, he said that in the 19th century. He was born in 1838. That's
He was
incredible.
a wise man, wasn't he? He was a wise
Incredibly
man.
wise. Incredibly wise that even today a lot of people still quote him on that and believe that that is still fact. When in reality, with what Jonathan's going to be talking about a bit later on, it's not real anymore. We have 100% optics on where our marketing money is being spent and how we can calculate ROI. That the days of that are over.
What do you
But
mean
the number-
calculate? The Republic of Ireland, ROI? Like, what are you on about?
Sorry, return on invested. I'm using marketeer
Oh.
lingo. I'm very, very sorry.
Oh, I thought you were referring to us Irish people, from the Republic of Ireland. Okay, I'm with you now.
Proper
I'm
Irish.
with you.
Irish.
So, Brad, bringing it back, because Ronan's in a really giddy mood. Why do photographers hate marketing?
Photographers hate marketing because you're bad at marketing. is my humble opinion. And I've hated marketing in the past because I've been bad at marketing. Marketing's been very frustrating for me many, many years ago because I was bad at marketing. Once I understood marketing and got good at marketing, I love it. It's great. But we all love things we're good at and we all hate things we're bad at. And we do a little thing in BSA called Brad's Bad Ads, where I get delivered hundreds of other photographers' Facebook ads on a daily basis. The fact that I'm being delivered them, a man without children in his 20s, should speak volumes for how they're targeting. But I get loads of them. And they are all terrible. They are trash. The offers, there's no offer structure. There's no compelling reason to click. They're all price focused. They're all giving away loads of products, and I hear it all the time. I did an amazing offer, Brad, and it failed. Well, let's take a look at it. And they're giving like a 15 by 12 and 10 by 8 prints and all the digital files for £125. And they think that's incredible, and why would nobody choose that as an offer? And the reason, like we spoke in the last podcast, is there's no problem. They're not solving a problem. They're not helping the client move towards the desire. It's all price focused. It's a trash offer. Same thing with photographs and imagery you're using in ads. Loads of photographers I know use their award-winning photographs in ads. Nobody likes them. Your clients do not like them. They're not going to resonate with them because they're not going to see themselves in those photographs. The client, you have to what you show is what you get. So if you show award-winning photographs that have been meticulously taken, then the reality is nobody's going to see themselves in them. And then there's a whole host of background tech and integration that photographers just get wrong all the time, and that is, I'm about to say it's a mystery. It's not a mystery, it just takes understanding. So number one reason why photographers hate marketing is because they're bad at it.
Don't hold back, Brad.
Well, you know, every now and again you like teeing me off for a bit of a, I like being provocative, you know.
I have a feeling this podcast episode is going to be quite provocative, but yeah.
So Ronan, you said something to me 2020, I think it was a few years ago now. It has stuck with me. I had a minor little epiphany all about it, and it's about buying process and where people are on that scale of making a consideration for your business. I don't know if you could just talk a little bit about it again.
Oh, sure, Brad. Yeah, you bring me back in time. So that was, when did I discover that? It was 2009 when I did my master's in sales management. And I decided to study online sales at the time. So I was trying to discover contact strategies that I actually use photographers as the client avatar, the client demographic. And I did a survey of photographers to say, if you visited our website, at the time it was Photo Value for our mounts and folders in the UK market, if you visited our website for the first time, how would you like us to reach out to you to help? Would you like it as a chat widget to open up? And we all know what they are now, right? But then it was very new. Like, chat widgets weren't just barely coming on the market. Would you like, while you're on the website, to receive a phone call from our client happiness team? Would you like to receive an email that offered help where you could click to book a call back? And I can't remember the fourth one, so which one it was, right? But as part of that, I'll tell you what the answer was in the end, if anyone can guess. But the important thing that you're referring to here, Brad, as part of that, I started to study people's buying process, right? And I can't remember the guy now who came up with this, but he came up with the idea of saying, like, a human goes through certain steps in their buying process, right? Psychological buying process. So the first thing is they have to be aware they have a need, right? And then the second step then is they start, once they are aware they have a need, they start to build their knowledge around what is the solution, right? And then when they do that, then they create a short list of possible solutions that they believe will solve the problem for them, and they make the consideration stage. So it's a short list, effectively, of 1, 2, 3 things of potential clients. So if we take that to the modern era, a lot of marketing today, right, is built around, a lot of marketing in our industry is built around doing SEO and doing blogging and all that, so that when people search on Google, right, that they find you. So a wedding photography is a great example where this can work, because most people who are getting married, they believe they need a photographer, right? So the trigger event, the awareness, comes from the culture of, oh, I'm getting married, I probably need to book a photographer. So I go to Google and search for it. But if you take the photographers who are family portrait, you take the photographers who are newborn, you take the photographers who are boudoir, or you take the photographers who are doing themes or any of that, they're not aware of that, right? We have to make them aware that we have a solution to a problem with our photography around those genres. And there's a lot of advantages to making them aware, because if we're the ones who make them aware and capture their interest, well, then we're in control of the traffic being a horrible name marketers use for people, but we're in control of the traffic, right? Because we make them aware. So they build their knowledge with us, they only consider us, so they book with us, right? And Janine, you've a great example in the past of this desire you had as an entrepreneur, as an eagle personality who wants to build an amazing business and has built and is building an even more amazing business, right, going forward. about wanting to control the traffic, wanting to control the people. Tell us about that, Janine.
I don't know if I'd say I want to control the people. That makes me sound a little more like an evil overlord. But
You are my client.
But I did always want to have control of the people coming into the studio, even back before we had this amazing ability we have with online marketing. I was never content just to let the phone ring. That's not how I operated. And so way back in the day, I was always looking for different ways to market the studio. And I did so many different things. We did direct mail, where we did a direct mail campaign, like a multi-series, like 3 or 4 mail drops to the same list for moms. That's back when you can't do this much anymore. We used to be able to buy a list of moms who just had babies and direct market to them, right? So HIPAA, I don't think you can even do that anymore. So we would market to that, but we didn't, just because someone had a baby, even a baby in a zip code, doesn't necessarily mean that that person wants your portraits, can afford your portraits, or have any need for your service, right? So we mailed, and we spent a lot of money on direct mail to get clients in. And we got clients in, for sure. Every month we get 1 or 2. And some of those clients are still with us to today. So I'm not dissing direct mail. However, you just didn't really get to control who it went to, even though you sort of could by demographics. We didn't have control over that traffic. When we would go to events, and we did a lot of events, and that's a lot of manpower. For those of you guys who have done in-person events, whether it be a home expo, a pregnancy expo, just local county fairs, like we would have fall festivals and things like this. So many things can go right and so many things can go wrong. And you bank all of your marketing efforts. Let's say like it was a 4th of July festival. That's when we celebrate our independence from Brad's country. So when we'd have a 4th of July festival in the middle of summer, we banked on that to like get us our clients for the next few months. So many what if it rains? And that's happened before. The whole day gets rained out, and oh well, there goes my marketing for the day. Or we would go to an event and not a lot of people would come. So if you're not running the event, you don't have control over who comes, the quality of people that come through, how many people come through. We certainly can't control the weather. And so all these different things would play into an effect on these traditional methods of marketing, even with auctions. Right? We would go to auctions and auction off certificates to the studio. And we tried to control, like we would only go to auctions where the ticket to go in was over $150, because then that should be my ideal client attending this auction, right? If somebody is spending over $150, surely they have money to buy portraits. But just because they have the money to buy portraits doesn't mean they have the need or the want to buy portraits. And so we were never really putting ourselves in front of an audience to disrupt them enough to want to come purchase a portrait with us or come book an experience with us. And so when you don't control the traffic, you're not really in control of your marketing, even though you're very busy. And a lot of those traditional methods take a lot of time, so much time. And it's funny because without COVID actually hitting in 2020, I might still be down that path of just accepting the fact that I had to spend all of this time and energy on in-person types of events in order to be able to bring the marketing in, even though it wasn't ideal because we didn't control the traffic, nor the weather, nor any of those other various factors that can affect the success of the marketing that you did.
Marketing is so much better when you can do it in your pants. You don't have to do it at an event.
Well, we always wear pants here in the US there, Brad.
Underwear then. The vast majority of my best ad campaigns have been launched at 1 a.m. in the morning. With me huddled over my PC, trying to write ad copy.
Do you know what I love about this podcast and the people? Not only do we have, capitalist Americans, but we have, socialist Europeans, as we talked about on our last podcast. But we also have this difference in language between pants and underwear and so many things. It's just fascinating. It's so funny. But Jonathan, Janine's talked about there about traditional marketing and but we see it, like many photographers are not only afraid of the idea of investing in marketing, because it is an investment, right? When you do it, especially when you can measure everything, right? But they also have this fear of Facebook ads and stuff, and yet, as Janina said, like they'll spend thousands of dollars if they actually measure their hourly rate going to something in person. And we're not saying you don't do it, right? But they'll spend thousands of dollars without measuring that. And yet they'll say, oh, I don't want to spend $20 on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be a struggle for me to control my passion and emotion discussing this, because it's something that really fires me up. I love talking about it, and yeah, I'm just going to share a couple of stories. So, as Brad said at the start, I do believe that a lot of photographers hate marketing because they don't fully understand it. Like, I hate... What do I hate? I hate a lot of things I don't understand or know how to do. You know, I hate when I don't understand them. I don't hate when I can't do them. But these skills, and they're just skills, can be learned. Like, we have members come into the Fully Booked Photographer who get scared by Facebook. Do you think that I wasn't scared by Facebook when I first opened Ads Manager? I was terrified. I didn't have a clue where anything was. I didn't have a clue. I was like, what have I just opened up and what have I gotten myself into? And the important thing is that you can't be afraid of something that you don't understand. You have to have the mindset that you're going to dig in and you're going to leverage other people who do understand, like all of us at the Fully Booked Photographer, to help you understand, to help you love marketing. So Ronan, one thing that really grinds my gears and gets me passionate is when we talked in the last podcast about our industry misleading us, and some people in our industry mislead us about this too. They'll say, oh, Facebook ads don't work for photographers. You can't use Facebook ads in your business. And they probably are saying that because they hate it because they don't understand it. Whereas we have a preponderance. Jeez, I can't speak English now. Need to learn English. Only joking. We have an abundance of proof and client results. Two being on this call, Brad and Janine, who have built super successful photography businesses that make a lot of money while serving their clients using the power of Facebook ads. And we have hundreds of members who do the same. And Facebook ads are really powerful, and they do work for photographers when you know how to do it right, because the audience, like you talked about in your buying process, are blissfully unaware that they even want your experience, right? They don't know that they want a boudoir session or a pet photography experience or, you know, a little duck session with Janine. They don't know. 99% don't know. They don't wake up in the morning saying, I must get a family portrait today. It's not like going to the shop and saying, oh, I need some bread and water and stuff. It's not like that for 99% of people in our niche and industry. We have to help create that desire. You know, it's a common misconception that people will automatically desire our artwork and what we have to offer. We have to create that. That's why we call it proactive marketing, and that's why Facebook works so well, because we're in control of our messaging and we're targeting a blissfully unaware audience. So we're putting out specific messaging targeted at our ideal client, and listen to the last episode where we talked about knowing your ideal client. But we put out messaging targeting our ideal client and we attract them into our world. And we bring them through this amazing process of first becoming aware that our amazing business and experience exists. And we bring them in and they become a lead, and we have, you know, amazing follow-up systems to earn that conversation with these people. And by earning that conversation with our leads, we can then have amazing conversations where we dive into how our unbelievable photography experience and our, you know, amazing artwork can help solve a problem for them, and we make it all about them. And that's one big reason why Facebook ads work. Another huge reason is that our audience size is typically large. We're targeting the 99% of people who don't know about us. Brad's a third generation studio owner. He's been in business for 40 little number years. He said in the last podcast, I can't remember if it's 44 or 42, but it's 40 and a little number. So 41, 42, 43, 44, whatever that number is, a long time, longer than most photographers. His studio's located in a big town centre in the UK. And Brad, most of your clients that come through the door didn't even know you existed or were there until they saw your Facebook ad. Right? So people don't wake up and automatically already know about you or already desire your artwork. You have to earn that. And Facebook ads lets us do that. It also lets us be in control. So a lot of our clients, or a lot of photographers in general, say, yeah, I struggle with consistency. I can't get consistent bookings. I can't find consistent clients. I'm up and down. I have some great months and some bad months, and I'm all over the place. Facebook helps you solve that challenge. Because when you're running Facebook ads, you basically can turn it on or off like a tap, or a faucet, I think they call it in the US. Just for those of you wondering what a tap is. So you can turn on or off that faucet or tap whenever you need more leads, which will help you generate more conversations and generate more bookings. That's what Janine does in her business. When she, one of Janine's evergreen offers, which we also did a podcast episode on, was about, the importance of having an evergreen offer is first birthdays, right? So Janine's evergreen offer is first birthday sessions, and when Janine needs more bookings, she'll turn on her Facebook ad and she'll generate leads, and her and her team will call them and they'll book them in and they'll have amazing sales. Same with Brad with his boudoir business. He might need 10 bookings next week. He only has 7. What do I do? Let me go into Facebook, turn on that ad, attract those blissfully unaware people, turn them into leads, turn them into bookings. And there are just a number of reasons why Facebook is so powerful and why it works so well for photographers. And I guess another big reason, Ronan, is you talked about spending money. Photographers are blessed. I think the most I've ever spent on a Facebook ad in a single day was $24,000. Running ads, selling supplements in the health industry. And the margin, I didn't own the supplement, the margins on that are small. The average sale is like $140. We get paid like 85% of that as affiliates from the product owner. And I have to run ads to sell a $140 average sale product and keep my ad costs to about, 50-60% of that. You guys, most of your averages are $500-$600, and most of our members are $1,000 or more. We've members with average sales of $6,300. Your ability to produce margin and ROI, return on investment, is amazing. I get really jealous about it. Facebook ads are perfect for the photography industry because of that. Like, there's just so many reasons. But again, it comes back to, so why do you hate marketing? Well, I don't understand it. Why do you hate many things? Well, sometimes, not all the times, because you don't understand it. And that's why we've been misled by a lot of other people in our industries who say Facebook ads don't work for photographers just because they don't understand it, and that's okay. So just, find people who do understand it. But anyway, I've gone on a bit of a rant and made a passionate delivery there, Ronan, so take us back.
I like fiery Jonathan. We don't get to see it very often.
And I'm on COVID brain, like I've COVID right now. I just tested positive for COVID this morning still. So it's interesting times.
You were talking about running a consistent business, because my business is consistent and my business is boring. But boring, consistent businesses mean that you can build revenue and they're scalable and you can grow them. But I think everybody's probably fed up about hearing about my business and Janine's business. But one of our mentors that we all work with in the Fully Booked Photographer, and we're helping him scale and grow his business. I won't mention his name, but January and February he consecutively hit over £20,000 in sales. That's the first time he's ever consecutively done that. 2 months in a row over 20,000. There's no doubt in my mind.
No, Brad, we talked about you lying before, and you're doing it again, right? It's not possible to be busy in our industry in January and February. It's not possible.
Lol.
I was going to swear then. A Yorkshireism was going to slip out, but it's a load of rubbish. You're not busy in January because you believe that photographers can't be busy in January, so then you don't market. I don't have that belief system. I don't believe that. I can be busy in January. My Januaries are the exact same as any other month. if I only work 3 weeks in January, it's going to be 3 weeks revenue. If I work 2 weeks, it's going to be 2 weeks revenue. That's how I build my business. That's how I calculate out how much revenue my months are going to do. Yeah, there's fluctuation based on average order, but that's never an awful lot. So I can easily plan out and build my business however I want it to be.
Brad, you said a very important word there, and I did forget to mention it, thanks COVID brain, was belief system.
Yeah.
And like most of the industry are planting limiting belief systems in us.
They do.
Because of their lack of understanding. They're putting limiting belief systems on photographers, and it can kill them. You know, if they say Facebook ads never work, they're never going to run a Facebook ad, and then that's a huge driver for many businesses, and it can help save a lot of photography businesses when they don't do marketing right. So
What's the same thing as accepting that it's going to be slow in the winter?
Yeah.
We have members right now that are fighting against that preconceived notion. They're fighting hard to find offers and to create sessions in their studio in the snowy months that will drive traffic to their studios, even when everybody else has said you can't run a business in the snow. No one's going to come see you in these months. And they're not accepting that because they're of this mindset that, no, I need to have a consistent business and I can make money even when people tell me I can't.
And it's quite funny because if you're not subject to that, you never know those beliefs existed. Mm-hmm. So for years in our little studio, we were in our own bubble. So we would generally go on holiday in September. So September was a quiet month for us because as a family, we'd all go on holiday together or vacation. And we'd go away to the lovely sunny Florida for 2 weeks. So August was always a busy month because we were focused. We wanted to earn money before we went away on holiday. Speaking to loads of UK-based photographers, they all mention how terrible August is because it's the school holidays and they just can't get hold of people and nobody's booking in. And I was like, well, doesn't happen for us. that's not the case. I don't understand. How is August bad? But it's belief system. If you let yourself think that August is going to be a bad month, it's going to be a bad month. Sorry, go on, Jonathan.
I was going to say, so like how you can learn to love something and learn to love marketing, and like you just said, Brad, not being aware of what you're in your own bubble, is instead of saying no, automatically rejecting something, saying no, such and such a person says I can't do that, so I can't do it. Think, are other people doing it? Because if they are, then that limiting belief has been disproven. And then ask yourself the question, how can I do it? So always have an open mind when approaching these things. Always be critical of what we're saying, what other people are saying. We don't always get it right either. Ask the question, how true is that? Are there other people out there who are doing it successfully? Dig into it. Have an open mind about it. I always, no matter who is talking to me, whether it's the most amazing marketer in the world, or the guy who's just upcoming, or the girl who's in corporate America, or the bloke who's in Australia, whoever it is, no matter where that information is coming from, how experienced they are, I always take it in with an open mind and say, is that, what does my granddad always say, is that a fact or is it an opinion? It's a great quote from Seamus Ryle. He told me in Spain when we were over there. He said, so Johnny, is that fact or is that an opinion? And it's a great mental model to bring in when someone is telling you something. So just have an open mind and learn. You can learn how to love marketing by adjusting your mindset. Sorry, Brad, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
No, I was just going to say a very, very important word, and a word I believe in, I think we all believe in very, very strongly, and it's responsibility. And that to be effective marketeers, to run an effective business, you are solely responsible for it. You have to shut out all that outside noise, all that limiting beliefs, all those negative opinions. And if you want to build a scalable, successful business, you can. And at times you have to borrow other people's belief. And we set this podcast up as a wonderful example to show other photographers that you can run a great business. So if you don't believe in yourself, then you can borrow our belief. Listen to the podcast, it's why it's here. But listen to us pontificate about running successful photographic studios, and hopefully that you can borrow some of that belief and it can help break down some of those limiting mindsets and beliefs that you may have, so that you can get on the path to building the business that you want, that serves your clients, that helps you provide for your family, and can do whatever your heart desires.
And Brad, you know, as a business, we're in business 42 years, right? And I've been in the business since 1989, so I'm around quite a long time. I know I don't look that old, but I am. But of course, our podcast here is listeners can't see me, but if you're on YouTube, you can see me. So here's the thing, right, about marketing is the quote that we mentioned earlier by John, you know, about that we spend a lot of money on marketing and we know 50% of it works, we just don't know which 50%. In our business today, we still spend money on marketing that we don't know whether it works or not, because it's hard to measure stuff. But the beauty about Facebook advertising is you can measure. You can know exactly where you are. You can turn it on and off as you need. You have no excuse anymore not to be as busy as you want to be all year round. Yes, that's what I said. You've no one to blame but yourself, if you're not busy all year round, because it's a limiting belief that's in the way, or it's something else that someone has taught you. And while Facebook marketing, it can be difficult to learn, right? Once you learn it, it's easy. The first time you picked up a camera, did you know how that camera worked? How much time did you have to spend to learn all the settings, to learn, you know, how to be unconsciously competent with your camera? Well, you know, to be unconsciously competent with your marketing, you're going to do the same thing too. But where you spend that time, because we're all time poor, right, is critical. And if you are a photographer who's not learning how to use Facebook advertising and online marketing effectively, right, to capture those people who are blissfully unaware, because you can do online marketing with Google AdWords, but that's not capturing people who are blissfully unaware, right? Or you can do blogging, or you can do SEO and all that stuff. You're not going to capture people who are blissfully unaware with that, unless you do really, 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 really advanced Google AdWords that we're not going to talk about today. Facebook is the best platform in the world for most photographers to attract people who are blissfully unaware, as Jonathan talked about, you know, that you can bring them into your world, you can educate them, build their knowledge, build why they need to do this for them, not for you, for them, and make a real difference to them. And as Brad has said many times on this podcast and many times in the Funny Book Photographer to our community and the people we mentor and teach and coach every single day in this area, you know, if you're doing the SEO and all that, you're chasing the 1% who someone else has told them they need to do this, and they're just checking out to see. So that's why people lead with when they come to you from your website. They lead with, so Janine, what do you charge for? Or Janine, what is your price for all the digitals? Because they believe they've done all the research and knowledge building themselves by checking out numerous photographers' websites. That's why they do that. That's why they lead with that question. So, what do you think, guys?
I think I need to turn my passion in for the next episode. Just got turned up.
No, Jonathan, your passion is amazing.
I just want to help people.
You borrow that passion and get passionate about their marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my biggest driver. I love seeing other people succeed. So I'm just here trying to help.
If photographers could get as passionate about being proactive with their marketing as they are about learning new photography techniques, their businesses would soar. We'd still be here. We'd just be telling different stories. We enjoy being together too much not to be here.
So what's the homework for today then for our listeners?
Ooh, good question. I have some homework for the listeners. Write down every reason why you might hate marketing your business, or write down every reason why you might be scared about marketing your business. And then once you've written those things down, look at them with an open mind and look at them objectively and think, okay, why am I scared, or why do I hate that? And ask a question, how can I become confident at doing these things and learn to love to do these things? Because when you properly market your business, that's going to be the major driving force between your growth. It's going to help you become fully booked. It's going to help you make more money, which is going to free up your time to allow you to be more creative, which you guys love doing. And it's going to enable you to spend time doing the things you love. So write down the things you hate about marketing, why you're scared of them or why you hate them, and start asking questions. How can I learn to love this? How can I learn to start doing this in my business? And by doing that simple exercise, it will just begin that mindset shift. It will start that process of mindset shift. It's not going to, bring you from zero to hero. It's just going to initiate that process of changing that mindset so you can begin the process of learning to love marketing.
So on that note, I think what we should say to everybody is do the homework. If you want to hear more from Janine, Brad, Jonathan, and myself, click the subscribe button, do it now. And if you want help, if you're serious about becoming a fully booked photographer, go to thefullybookphotographer.com, click on the link to the Inner Hive and come join us. Come join the hundreds of photographers we have from around the world who every single day are working to become fully booked photographer by taking control of their marketing, by taking control of their business, by taking control of their life, by creating the life they've long desired for and are creating for not just themselves but their families. So click on the button, come join us, and we'll see you all again soon. So from me, goodbye.
Ciao.
Bye, everybody.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye everybody. See you soon.